Alright there, my name's Ragtag, the greatest gutter tier gamer on the face of this earth, and welcome to the channel. I've got a story to share with you today about a dysfunctional team with a bloodhound ready to blow a gasket and a lifeline. Well, let's just say who doesn't seem to know that they're lifeline. Sound familiar? Because it's starting to feel like a common turn of events here, and as we return to the ranked grind after being demoted from inactivity, I realised that this climb is going to have a few, well, stumbles along the way, even in silver. Now, landing into World's Edge is not something that people give much care to in a public game setting. They just want to fight, but now we're in ranked. We have to be cautious because we're playing for points, and points lead to teammates that will understand how to use their abilities, but until then, I'd have to roll the dice on that front. But having just said that I'd have to be cautious without any improvements on the starter body armor, I decided to go and pick a fight. What does that say about me? It tells you that light travels faster than sound, my friends, making some people appear bright until you hear them talk. But then, as the song goes in my country, you take the high road, I'll take the low road, and I'll get the purple armor before you. Then, as I heard gunfire, I did something that I probably haven't done since Season 10 came out. I saw a rampage and decided to keep my wingman. My first thoughts after doing this were GG next game, but before we had time to dwell on our stupidity, a traveller came to the station.
My vision is clear.
I am totally okay with Bloodhound breaking wind on my enemy to secure the elimination, so long as they're dead, right? I'm fine! It's okay, plenty more where that came from, and as it would happen, we were unwittingly charging towards 3 squads. In true Ragtag style, we went in totally different directions, fighting different enemies altogether.
Contact with target. Taking contact with enemy. All father, give me sight.
Yes, the gas trap landed up there. Caustic mains everywhere. Be proud.
Firing. Subject shields. There is another spot. They are attacking.
What you have just witnessed there was the riskiest, dumbest way to finish off an opponent, allowing them the maximum health of their shield and enough time for their teammate to come and help them out. However, time waits for no thirst, and I needed a refill. Question is, if the rest of that team wasn't coming down, were they even still upstairs? Ah yes, the old coiled snake tactic. The moment where both our guns were empty, Seer had a bow check on his back. Was he going to whip it out or reload the P2020? I had no choice but to unsheath the wingman after emptying the EVA 8, but I'd stand more chance of pistol whipping him on the cheek than hitting him at this range. But then my opponent engaged the ice skating strafe maneuver, indicating that his body mass had shifted, weight fully planted on his sliding front foot. Or we just got lucky and that was post-rationalised nonsense, but there was no time to enjoy the headshot because Lifeline was down.
I still see it.
If it wasn't for those pesky walls, I'd have hit you for at least 7 damage. Caustic's gas traps are absolutely top tier for stalling to revive, and little did I know that this would become my main skill set for this game. I'll have you filthy casuals know that it is a well-known fact that sending wraiths back to the lobby is doing the Lord's work, but a bigger concern was that we were about to discover an important detail about my team.
Right here. Scanning the area. Independent variable added. Placing it in variable. Contact with hostile. Trap set and waiting. Grenade! In combat. I'm taking fire. I have fallen. Eyes up. Grenade. Tossing thermite. Throwing thermite.
Lifeline maybe could have revived, but they needed shields. Perhaps I'd have time to pull off a risky revive. Bloodhound ascended the stairs, I suddenly realised the futility of battling other legends. Perhaps we should just put aside our differences and find common ground against Hammond Robotics, the true evil of this world. But then a scientist's curious nature needed one question answered first. And that question was, shouldn't that shield cell drop on the ground after exploding you in the face with an EVA 8? Oh well, we had a team to get back up on their feet, and etiquette dictates that you should always revive the lifeline first, as they can simply one-tap your other teammate and allow us all to better prepare for any other approaching danger. For some reason, it didn't quite happen that way. Sure, I wasted some time typing to them and I could have just revived instead of doing that, but look, I thought I could establish a rapport and I don't know, thought that I might not be asking for too much to get the support legend to do their job. I wish I could tell you that this was the end of it though, but sadly, it wasn't. And Bloodhound wasn't happy, but at least they didn't meet the fate of that other hunter. Back to the place of our landing to this game, where gunfire could be heard ricocheting all around the buildings. Squads were engaged in a vicious firefight, and I was keen that we approach from the zipline, taking us right to the top of Streamer LZ. What I didn't realise is that I was about to have a gutter tier moment.
Marking our surroundings.
I suggest we do some research in this area.
And there it is. Simultaneously, reloading and climbing is not something that you want to find out is impossible to do when you're at the point of no return. And throwing the game like that naturally resulted in the most predictable outcome.
I have fallen.
The ring's close, 45 seconds. I still see everything. Last one down. Reloading.
Don't worry, my friend. Caustic is here to patch you up. It's all good. This guy not know that Lifeline's robot can raise? Well, maybe they knew, maybe they didn't, but I suspect caring about it is far from their dominion, so off we went to the end game. With 6 squads becoming 5, we were about to find enemies pilfering the contents of the care package. Bloodhound desperately needed some cover.
Need a thermite grenade.
Delivering frag. Delivering frag. Throwing frag.
I'm paid. Bless me with sight.
I'm spotted. Taking fire. Reloading.
I downed a hostile. Scanning the area.
Despite their frustrations, clearly this was a teammate that was getting the job done and that you could count on.
Recharging my shield.
Reloading.
There they went again, taking care of business against that lone Octane, proving their battle prowess and securing me some time to prepare for the next fight.
Shot down.
Care package on hub.
Help shot if you need.
We should go here.
I need shield.
Taking fire.
That team on the hill over there might be a problem, but a bigger problem was that there were now only 2 other squads in this game. One of them wanted to own this building, but if they tried to breach our position, plan A was to prevent that with toxic gas, and if that failed, well, there's 25 other letters in the alphabet.
We've got another squad. I've been down. Beginning countdown.
Getting shot at. That's the and waiting. Recharging shields.
Your time is not over yet.
My vision is clear. Taking fire.
It was too risky to push outside. We'd have to do it at full strength or not at all. But then Sear's drone sneezed all over my face from through the wall, cancelling my heal. My knuckles are still recovering from the wall punch, but I had to take care of myself before I could drop Lifeline anything.
Shield battery here.
Marking our surroundings.
Recharging my shield.
Recharging my shields.
Listen up, I'm getting shot at.
Battling the enemy. Reloading.
Bloodhound massacred our enemies, smelled out the mirage, and now it was just down to us and one final squad.
Taking fire.
Yeah, and I know we quietly swapped out the wingman for the flatline for the rampage, and look, I just wanted to win. So once the thermite goes in, you know it's rampage time. My teammates smelled the blood from my offensive onslaught, realised that there were only but 2 opponents in front of us, and went full send aggression mode.
Shields recharging.
Recharging my shields. Trust in the All Father.
I covered them with what I had and hoped it would be enough.
Marking us down. I downed a hostile.
Victory was ours, and whilst I was quite happy with my performance, the squad damage stats are not the moral of this tale. No, the moral of this tale is that Caustic would suit tying up his hair into a couple of buns and crafting himself a nifty little gas drone. I've been Ragtag playing as LIFELINE. You've been wonderful for seeing this video through to the end. Goodbye.
Yeah, hey, yeah. Oh.